Vice President, Assistant Vice President, Mr. Lawrence Seaside, and CONCACAF Women's Football Supervisor, Mr. Shana Vincent. Let's welcome them. Number 13, Kendallin McDowell. Number 20, Skylar Mueller. Number 21, Nolani Johnson. Number 41, Kathleen Simmons. Number 42, Carrington Wilder. Number 54, Isabella Moreno. Number 57, Adeline Thomas. Team Indy Premier is coached by Kenrick Ramirez. And now for Team Jamaica. In goal and number 1 and captain, London Casey. Number 3, Kyra Grant. Number 4, Nicolette Prendergrass. Number 5, Felicia Brown. Number 6, Jada Leckie. Number 7, Rakana Richards. Number 8, Jennifer Williams. Number 9, Madison Bailey. Number 10, Elizabeth Miller. Number 11, Jamara Jones. Number 12, Kalila Daly. Team Jamaica is coached by Clive Weatherby. Let's wish these ladies all the best. Let's go!
Good afternoon and welcome to the Hasely Crawford Stadium for the grand final of the Jewels of the Caribbean tournament. Well, we're about to witness a clash of cultures and a battle for resumption. In one corner, the unstoppable force of Indy Premier under-17. The US-based club has arrived in Trinidad and Tobago with a mission and have executed it flawlessly. 17 goals scored, 0 conceded, and a wave of dominance that has swept aside every challenger, including their opponents tonight. In the other corner, the prize of the nation and the Caribbean, Jamaica under-17s, the young reggae boys were bruised by a 5-0 loss to this same Indy team 48 hours ago. But finals are not played on paper, and they are certainly not played in the past. Tonight, Jamaica has to play for the trophy, for pride, and for the chance to turn this narrative on its head. Just about ready for the start of today's match. And the players are lined up. Everybody's just about ready to go here. Give you the team lineup shortly as we get ready for the start of this game.
Other match officials for the game. Referee Natalia Williams.
Natalia Williams is the referee for today's game.
Second assistant referee Kian Roach, and the fourth official Kristen Sobers. And the match commissioner for the game is Calissa Gregory.
So in terms of the teams, as we get ready for the start of the match, in the Premier, they have Provost in goal. Brooklyn Van is 2. Kendallin McDowell 13. Corey Brown 5. Ashlyn Basile is 6. Correction. Kendallin McDowell 13. Zoe Montgomery 7. Olivia Jones. 9. 54 is Isabella Moreno. 41, Catherine Simmons. 17, Olivia Wessel. Olivia Wessling is one of the substitutes. Kyla Mueller is 20. Nolani Johnson, 21. Carrington Wilder is 42. And Adeline Thomas, 51. So just to confirm, Provost in goal 1 as we get the start going here. And it is Indy Premier in the blue one that are attacking the goal to our left. So Provost in goal, Van, McDowell, Montgomery, Jones, Moreno, Simmons, Mueller, Johnson, Thomas, and Adeline Thomas in goal. So that is the lineup for the Indy Premier team. As for Jamaica on the 20s, London Cathy in goal, and the rest of the team, Nicolette Prendergrass 4, Kyra Grant 3, Felicia Brown 5, Jada Leckie 6, Raquana Richards 7, Jennifer Williams 8, Madison Bailey is number 9, as Jamaica have some early defensive work to do here. Elizabeth Miller is 10, Shamara Jones 11, and Kalila Diggy is number 12. Beaten 5-0 a couple of nights ago, and now have the chance to redeem themselves in the best possible way. All the way back to Provost. Here's Simmons. She looks all the way forward and finds Montgomery. Montgomery had a knock in the... She didn't play in the last game at all. She had a knock in the previous game up at Sangre Grande and has recovered well enough to play here. And Montgomery actually has 1 goal in the competition, which she scored in Sangre Grande before coming off. And she's a constant danger down the left-hand side. Up in front, Olivia Jones, the star player of the team. And Mueller also on the right-hand side. Those three are a dangerous forward combination. And with the addition of Montgomery back in the attack, well, that's going to make it even more difficult. Both Montgomery and Jones are part of the U.S. national women's team under 15. Olivia Jones is one of the starters, and Montgomery is in that under 15 pool. So 2 quality players here on display. Several others are part of the team, though. Mention those as we go along. Nice turn by Adeline Thomas. Van looking for Mueller, but that's misplayed. In that last game on Friday, Indy Premier went up 2-0 very, very quickly indeed. It was in the first 5 minutes, and it was pretty much game over from there. A couple of mistakes at the back for Jamaica. And here is the ball forward by Johnson. Montgomery gets to the line and gets the cross in. But Cathy does well to make the stop. London Cathy. It's quite a coincidence that both starting goalkeepers for Jamaica, including the under 20 goalkeeper, have the first name London. London Cathy and London Phoenix. There's Provost, who is herself a member of the U.S. Women's Under 15 team. So some quality players on display here on both teams. And the Jamaica side, the real jewel of the Caribbean, some would say. The best team around in the Caribbean, and certainly one of the best teams in CONCACAF. This one's played over towards Montgomery, who might get there first. She does, just ahead of Prendergrass. Can she get the cross in? She does. Well, she was looking for Olivia Jones, but there were 2 players in the way, and one of them just getting the clearance. But good signs here for the Indy Premier team within the first 4 minutes. Already they're starting to penetrate this Jamaica under 17 defense. Cross in, oh, that's spilled, and it is cleared in time. Jamaica trying to mount an attack on the right-hand side, but it's taken over by Johnson here for Indy Premier. Here's Thomas. And Wilder. That's cleared. In the middle of the park here with Indy Premier. the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, represented here today by Second Vice President Jameson Reeks, and also here from the Secondary Schools Football League is Lawrence Sipasa. They were out to meet the teams just before the start. Van. Back to Provost. Slow and methodical build-up. Very much a team that plays vertically. A lot of forward passes. Very few of those passes to the side or backwards from them. A lot of support being provided by one of the teams on the far side. That's the Jamaica under-20 team. They're out here supporting their sister team, younger players. Jamaica have come with 2 complete squads. As for Indy Premier, it's a little bit more difficult for them. They were involved in a tournament in California up to the 10th, and due to the passport issue and a couple of other issues, they came with 11 under 20 players, and they've been allowed to use 3 under 17 players. Here's the shot from distance into the wind, so it's not going to be a very powerful one from Simmons, and easily taken by Cathy. So Indy Premier coming with 11 under 20 players, and they're allowed to play 3 under 17 players plus the goalkeeper in that team. And given that the under 17 team is playing first, some of these players who are in action here today could very well, there is a lot of rotation, they were involved with the under 20 team.
Good afternoon.
So Indy Premier has been the juggernaut of the competition, scoring 17 goals, none conceded. The Jamaica under 17 team, that heavy 5-0 defeat against the same side 2 days ago. Foul on the far side will go the way of Indy Premier. Indy Premier coached by Kenrick Ramirez, who is from Trinidad and Tobago. Went to Queen's Royal College, as I mentioned in previous broadcast. 2009 and 2014, the Indiana Director of the Year. And you consider the number of amateur organizations in Indiana. That's a huge honor indeed. This one's into the back of the defender. And Kenrick Ramirez has some great company on the bench. Russell G., the ex-England pro, Indiana Coach Hall of Fame member, and Aubrey Robertson, who's a part of the under-20 team. Knocked on here by Richards, looking for the run of Jones. Richards and Jones are the 2 most dangerous players for this Jamaica team, at least on this side of the field. And they have some quality players. Prendergrass has to go all the way back to a goalkeeper here. Prendy, as she's called by her teammates. Off the head of the Indy Premier player. Taken over here by Jones. Well, that's going to be a goal kick, a signal by Natalia Williams, the referee for today. Crystal Sobers is the 4th official. And I suspect that she might take over in doing the duties for the final. Certainly she is the best female referee and one of the best referees around in Trinidad and Tobago. And she will take charge of that. Knocked through the space here for Montgomery. Montgomery driving towards goal. Can she get the shot off? Looks for Jones, and that's against the body of the defender. And she comes away with it and gets a huge round of applause, does Nicolette Prendergrass. So far Jamaica have coped with everything that the Indy Premier team have thrown at them. And the physio is on. That's Cayenne Perth. It's a player down here for Jamaica. It is Raquana Richards. He just took a knock there in that last challenge. Jamaica on the 20 girls are really supporting with all their might way on the far side. One thing about the Hasely Crawford Stadium, it captures the sound very well. And the sound, even though there might be hundreds here, it sounds like thousands at times. So can Jamaica redeem themselves, or is it a coronation for the Indy Premier team? Indy Premier demolished Jamaica 5-0 in the group stage, doubleheader at the Attleboro Stadium 2 days ago. And their form has been imperious. They beat Trinidad and Tobago on the 17th 4-0. They then beat the SSFL 11 8-0 in Sangre Grande, and getting past Jamaica 5-0 with a comprehensive display at the Attleboro Stadium. 3 different stadia and same result. No goals conceded for them. Jamaica has shown some mixed form in this competition. A good comeback, good win against Trinidad and Tobago after giving up a penalty just before the second period. End of the first period, correction. Shot on goal may have been deflected, and the keeper was taking no chances. London Cathy sprawling away to the left to make the stop. What a beautiful day it is here in Port of Spain, Trinidad, and thank you so much for joining us on SportsStream TT. This broadcast is brought to you by Blue Waters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the Under-20 final is coming up later on. So here comes Jamaica, and they're looking for the run here of Jones, but she allows that to pass by her quickly and away for a throw-in for Indy Premier. Moreno is another one of those players involved in national pools. She's with the Mexico under-15 pool. And here's Jones here collecting. That's a Montgomery correction on the left-hand side. Under heavy attention here from the Jamaican defender. Gets past her. Only Jones to aim at in the middle. And Jones really should have made that run towards the near post. Instead, she just was marked off well by Nicolette Prendergrass, who did well to make the stop. And again, over the head of Jones, looking for the run here of Moreno. And Jamaica get it clear. That might stay in play, so they're forced to defend it here. The Simmons leading for the Indy Premier team. That is a good kick by Provost to get things going once again for the Indy Premier team. Thomas. Mueller is on the far side, very recognizable with that long locks of wavy hair. She also plays for the under-20 team. So it's going to be a very interesting organization here between the two teams, especially for Indy Premier. Jamaica have no such worries about players playing for two different teams, but it's really going to be an organizational nightmare. But I'm sure that given the quality of the technical staff on this Indy Premier team with Ramirez, G, and Robertson, they've figured out something already. Ball out of play, hitting the Blue Waters sign on the far side. And we thank Blue Waters for their participation in this broadcast. Prendergast is again there for Jamaica under no real pressure here. Just allowed to just trot out from defense with the ball. That's unusual for the Indy Premier. Usually they hunt ruthlessly in those attacking areas. Down the line, Van will have some chasing to do. She does well to come away from danger. It's Johnson. Very good fullback is Johnson. She is exceptional in attacking phase. Here's Jones now taking it out towards the left-hand side. Jones gets the cross in, and Moreno comes in, and that's into the back of the net. It's Mueller that scores at the back post. Brilliant move, sweeping move by Indy Premier, and they're rewarded with the goal. And it is Mueller, once again, that number 20 coming in at the back post and getting the goal. 16 minutes in, and Indy Premier have gone ahead again.
Mike. Check. And I hear him. Check. Oh my God.
So Mueller getting the goal to put Indy Premier ahead, and it's very clever how they mix things up at the front here. There's the cross coming in from Daly. Similar situation for Jamaica, but Daly unable to apply the finish. It was a hurried cross. She was looking for the player coming in the middle, but not able to get anywhere close to Elizabeth Miller, the center forward for Jamaica. Another one of those speed merchants for Jamaica. It's given away here, and Jones miskicks. Manages to get it back though. Jones gets the shot off. Well, it's a low percentage shot, falling away and way on the right. She really should have played the bounce pass with the player just in front of her, Raquana Richards. Richards was calling for it, but all the same, it is deflected, so it's going to be a corner for Jamaica, their first of the match. And it will be Elizabeth Miller in the center. Jamara Jones is going to take this one. Taking her time here, Jamara Jones. The key stat in this game is that Indy Premier have not conceded any goals in this competition, and if Jamaica can get that goal here in the final, that will certainly change the psychology of this Indy Premier under-17 team. There's Jones with the free kick towards the top of the box. Well read by the defense. And they get it clear. That's Catherine Simmons. We're here at the historic Hasely Crawford Stadium, a stadium that was opened back in 12th of June 1982. The then Prime Minister George Chambers was the one that declared stadium open, and stadium opened 6 years after the man whose name is on the stadium, Hasely Crawford, won the gold medal at the 1976 Olympics. It was named after him in 1996. It's a nice turn there by Jones. Jones tries a shot from distance, but that's straight into the back of Kathy there, able to make the stop. So Richards will take the throw in for Jamaica. And how have they been affected here by that early goal? Is it same old and unable to change the script here? Or will they fight on as we know they can? Richards driving towards the defense here. She has very little support, and there was very little support there from Williams. Williams is just standing there looking at the ball and not moving towards Richards at all. So not switched on completely, a couple of these Jamaica players right now. She didn't really provide anything of a passing option for her. Too far ahead of Jones, but Jones still manages to get there. That will break kindly here for Moreno at a cross, and Montgomery is going to chase this one. Montgomery will pick it up. Now there are a couple of players inside the box and a third just on the edge over the head of Jones, and that's well cleared and straight at Jones. That's Jamara Jones. Jones missed kicks badly. That's the second time in the game we've seen her shank a kick. Here's Johnson. It's cleared up towards the run of Miller here. Miller takes some defending, and in the end the two defenders for the Indy Premier team have been able to deal with that. 21 minutes, almost up to the halfway point of the first half, and it is Indy Premier that lead. 16-minute goal by Mueller to make it 1-0. Simmons. She finds McDowell. McDowell, another one of those players for the US under-15 team pool. Was that a handball? Yes, it was. Off the hand of Zoe Montgomery. Yeah, I mentioned it before, but there was a bit of comedy that went on around Zoe Montgomery. I mentioned that she had scored 3 goals in an offside position and introduced the concept of the local idea of the bush bath that she should take to get off the bad luck. But she scored in the next game, and the coaches came across and they told me that they did in fact ask her to take the bath. I don't know if it was a bush bath, but yes, her luck has changed in this competition. And she did have a goal in the last game. Unfortunately, she got injured, so I'm not sure how much her luck exactly changed. If she can get a goal here, she will put all of that behind her. Jones posting up on the far side, looking for the cross. Mueller is behind her now, looking for Johnson. Always doesn't need a second invitation to attack. Here's Montgomery, gets it onto the left foot and shoots. Well, was swinging away from goal. It is a fairly windy afternoon here in Trinidad and Tobago as the sun comes out in its full glory here in Port of Spain. We're in a part of Port of Spain called Invaders Bay, and that's because this is the part of Port of Spain where the British came ashore and wrested Trinidad and Tobago away from the Spanish rule. That happened in 1797, just a few years ago. Thomas trying to turn away from trouble under heavy pressure from the Jamaica player. That's Daly. Mueller showed too much of that to the defender, but still manages to get it back from Daly. Gets the cross in. Jones is there, heads it back, and the shot is a disappointing one from Moreno. And perhaps the future Mexico international there shooting over bar. It was a difficult one that really didn't sit kindly for her. I mentioned the name of Kalila Daly. Kalila Daly playing for the Jamaica under-17 team on the far side. One of the outstanding players for this Jamaica team. And she's playing in that left fullback position. So free kick for Jamaica on the far side. And where's this game going? You feel that if Indy Premier are going to be challenged in this one, Jamaica must get that next goal. Because if they go up 2-0, well, the psychology of Jamaica might change to a negative one. These are young athletes, and just to remind you that no team in this competition, in all the games that have been played so far, in all 14 games, no team has come back from going down a goal to win a match. Young athletes, sometimes they tend to drop their heads if the goal goes in. This is knocked in towards the far post. Too much bend on it from Montgomery. She was looking for a strike partner, Jones, and even further afield to Mueller. There's a Jamaica player down as McDowell makes the collection, and that's going to be a free kick.
Elizabeth Miller, and entering the field plays number 15, Michaela Stewart.
Cross there from Montgomery, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Change for Jamaica. Michaela Stewart comes on for Miller. So the change has been made, and just a little bit of a tactical realignment here. Jones has now gone up into the center forward position, and the number 15, Michaela Stewart, is playing just in front of the defense on the right-hand side. Here's Mueller coming inside. Thomas. Shot is wide. And that's played back high over and straight into the gloves once again of the Jamaica goalkeeper, London Katie. Where's this goal coming from for the Jamaica team? Is that tactical change going to work for them? Putting Jamara Jones up in an attacking position. And here's Stewart now joining the attack. Well, her remit is to help with the defense, but also to race up and support the forwards as much as possible. Offer options down the right-hand side for Jamaica. That's controlled by Montgomery. Indy Premier playing at a little bit of a slower pace here today, and that's because this game is starting 2 hours earlier than any of the other matches they've played. And remember, they are coming from the American Midwest, and they are coming from the middle of winter, so they will want to make sure they can conserve enough energy to deal with this humidity here. Here's the shot from distance, and Montgomery hitting that one cleanly, but too much elevation on it. A lot of Jamaican supporters here. Some of them are Jamaicans who live in Trinidad and Tobago, others are parents who have come to join their children here. Some of the Jamaican under 17s are from the US actually, but qualified to play for Jamaica. That's straight to Daly. Daly just running at the defense again and just over-pushing, over-committing. McDowell does enough to get it away from her. Yes, McDowell again. Oh, there's loads of space. Daly has come out and she left a huge amount of space. A better pass to Mueller could have exposed Jamaica's left flank. There wasn't enough on it, and Mueller had to come to the ball, and eventually it was deflected away. Daly seems to thrive more in a left-sided midfield role, but has been pushed into that left-sided left back position. McDowell running herself into trouble here. That gives it away to Jones for Jamaica. Jones trying to cut back, getting away with it. Bailey. Here's Madison Bailey again, gets the cross in left-footed. The defender Simmons was there first. The keeper was calling for it. She wasn't taking any chances. Van. Looking for Mueller. Daly gets the header on it. Lecky is there and can't get it to Bailey. Well, in recovering from that heavy defeat, Jamaica really had to work on fixing those defensive leaks. They conceded 3 goals in the first half on Friday. Their resilience has been one of their keys over the years, and certainly it's a feature of this team. Mueller can't keep it in play. And they showed great character in beating Trinidad and Tobago 2-1 and eliminating their Caribbean arch rivals from the competition. Cleared by Simmons. Here's Moreno looking the ball to get it out towards Montgomery. Forward for Jones. And Jones does well to get past the defender. Now checks back for Montgomery. 3 players on the far side to aim at. That was not well hit and cleared. Well, Montgomery is recovering from a knock, as you mentioned, but she hasn't been at her sharpest. Certainly she looked very, very sharp in the first couple of games. Passing hasn't been as accurate as it is as it was in the earlier part of the tournament. Well, Jones has been very good all the way through. That's a lovely bit of skill, but not able to retrieve the ball after that. Here's Thomas. Jones turning away from trouble. So much about the game of Jones that reminds me of the American great Mia Hamm. Similar running style and similar energy. She does have the skill to go with it, young Jones. She could develop into some player if she continues to work hard at her game. Mueller. Forward for Thomas. Prendergast again is there. She's been ever present for the Jamaicans so far. Mueller looking for the run of Montgomery. Headed away by Jamaica. They've been far more compact this time round as opposed to the Friday game where they were torn apart early in the first half. But they still have given up that goal. The cross ball from Jones did the trick as Mueller came in. A familiar play for the Indy Premier team. We've seen them score goals like that through this tournament. Ball played in early. Jones is after it. Not going to get there, though. Well, the Hasely Crawford Stadium pitch is the widest of the surfaces that they've played on. And this certainly does favor the Indy Premier team, their fitness levels. But are they going to deal well with the humidity here? Jamaica team is more accustomed to the humidity levels. And Indy Premier have scored early in all of their games in this tournament. Jamaica, well, you felt that they must have kept, if they could have kept a clean sheet in the first 20 minutes of the game, it would have given their team a lot of confidence, but they haven't. The goal coming in the 16th minute. Way up to the 35th minute now. 10 minutes to go to the half, and a free kick for the team in blue from the northern part of the sports-mad city of Indianapolis, home of the Colts, the great NFL team, Super Bowl winners in 2007, and of course the home of the Indiana Pacers, another great sports team. Always remember the great Reggie Miller from the Indiana Pacers. It's played in, chested down, and straight to the goalkeeper. Also want to mention the great coach Larry Bird, also from would have coached the Pacers to great success. Van could not keep it in play, and Jamaica will have a throw-in. Dangerous position here. Has been a difficult tournament for all of these teams. Not seeing the energy from the Jamaica team that would have seen. Perhaps they're just conserving a little bit for the final blast later on. Wilder getting that forward. Jones trying to get in the way of that pass, and she picks up the ball. Montgomery has some space on the near side. Can she run at the Jamaica defenders here? Good overlapping run by Jones. And, well, it turned out to be a shot, but she was trying to get the cross in towards the player running in from the midfield, but not enough bend on it. Wilder. Thomas was the player coming in from the midfield. Kept at arm's length there by Jada Leckie. Those two going to ground. It's a competitive game here. Here's Moreno. Trying to drive to the line, but once again, Prendergast is there to make the stop. She's had a good tournament, Prendergast. The most reliable of the Jamaica defenders. Free kick for the team in yellow and green. Jamaica from the land of wood and water, as they say. They're up against the club team, Indy Premier, from a city known as the Crossroads of America. Marlon Hilton just a few meters away from where the ball is being kicked right now. The head coach of the Jamaica under-17 team, appointed back in November 2024. Works for Monroe College also. And might not know this about Marlon Hilton, but he's also an English teacher. So I've been working hard on eliminating the passive voice and dangling participles from my commentary as a result. Here's Johnson. McDowell. Can't get past Bailey. Haven't seen a huge amount of Bailey in the game so far. She needs to get more involved. A few of these players are carrying knocks, and that would explain why they're not performing up to their normal standard. It has been a tough tournament. It is a game every other day for these Jamaica players, and of course the Indy Premier team. And for the Indy Premier team, maybe even more than that. Here's a shot from distance, just wide. Thomas there, who's looked very dangerous with those runs from the midfield. Yeah, these Indy Premier players, as I mentioned, their issues with not having enough players as a result of scheduling conflict. They also received a fairly late invitation, as a couple of other teams would have pulled out of the competition. And they decided to come down and compete, and here they are in both finals. Free kick going against Indy Premier. Disappointment for the home fans is that none of the 4 home teams have made it to the finals, and I would hope that the teams from Trinidad and Tobago would be here to watch the games and to really look at the standard that is required of them to get up to this level. Headed away, good solid defensive header. Leckie, Pendergrass, Brown, going route 1 there. There's the other side of the game of Moreno coming in to repair the damage. Now Richards is out of position, and Mueller gets the ball forward to Jones. It's a 1-on-1 there. Jones trying to sell the dummy to the defender, but she was not buying. Johnson stylishly turning into danger. There's Johnson again. Slow and methodical here from the Indy Premier team. Jamaica have to get a tackle in. They've only left 1 player up. That's Jones there to keep a couple of defenders back with her. The Indy Premier goalkeeper, Gwyneth Provost, is almost a quarter way up the field. We've seen this from her before. One point in one of the previous games, she was on the half line. Cleared by Kyra Grant. The Indy Premier and the 20 team, just heading might catch them in the back of the view right now. There they are, heading towards the dressing rooms, going to get ready for their match, start their warm-ups. And we will see the Jamaica team on the 20 start their warm-ups. They're still sitting in the stands supporting their under-17 team. Jones looking to turn. That would have been interesting if she'd gotten on the end of that, with the keeper maybe about 30 yards out from a goal line. It's given away. Free kick for Jamaica. It's mentioning it would have been good for the national teams to come and watch this game and see the levels that these two teams can produce. It's a good reminder of where you need to be in order to compete at this level against the likes of Jamaica and the American teams. One remembers the example set by the likes of Lionel Messi and Thomas Muller, both World Cup winners. Lionel Messi, after watching his team lose the League Cup finals, as that ball will go out harmlessly. Lionel stood by and watched the entire presentation ceremony as his opponent celebrated their trophy win before he went in. Similar to Thomas Muller, when his team lost the MLS Cup final to Messi's Inter Miami, he also stayed out and showed his respect to his opponents. Johnson and Montgomery. Can she get the cross in? Mueller's looking dangerous on the far side, but Montgomery goes to ground here, and Jamaica can, oh, that was a disappointing pass by Grant. It was an excellent opportunity to Jamaica to counter-attack. Moreno finds Johnson. As Montgomery just blocks it straight into the pathway of the Jamaica player Richards. Williams shreds it through somehow to Bailey. Bailey looking for Jones. Well, there were three players close by all around Jones and couldn't get the pass through the eye of the needle. Marlon Hilton's assistant is Sashana Campbell, 2019 World Cup player for Jamaica. She's from the Spanish Town area. Well, that's a great pass. Keeper did well to come and get it. That could have been 2-0, but great bit of work by London Cathy coming out to make the stop. Very alert goalkeeping from the Jamaican custodian. Driving forward here is McDowell. Finds Mueller on the far side. Down the line, looking for Thomas. She's confronted by the durable Pendergast down that side. Still gets the cross in. Headed across goal by Moreno. But that will run out of play. I think she was trying to flick it on towards the run of Montgomery. And that will bring an end to the first half. No time added on for stoppages here. And at the end of the first half, it is Indy Premier, the American Academy team, leading by a 1-0. Mueller getting the goal in the 16th minute. Join us in the second half for more action here in the Jewels of the Caribbean under 17 final.
Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, SportsStreamTT. We can customize a package for you. Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, SportsStreamTT. We can customize a package for you.
Welcome back to the Hasely Crawford Stadium for the second half of the Jewels of the Caribbean Under-17 final. And if you expected a repeat of Friday's 5-0 demolition, think again. Scoreboard reads Indy Premier 1, Jamaica 0. But the story is one of grit and fierce resistance from the Reggae Girls in the first half. Separating the sides is a single moment of quality in the 16th-minute, a sharp finish from Skylar Mueller, who continues her ruthless form in the competition. But since that goal, the floodgates have not opened. Jamaica have dug in and reorganized and frustrated the American juggernaut. And the equation for the next 45 minutes is very, very simple indeed. Jamaica is searching for the moment, one break or one set piece to ruin Indy's perfect defensive record and steal the trophy. 45 minutes to decide the champion. The second half underway. So here we go, the Mueller now operating through the middle of the park. Jones looks like she's gone out towards the left-hand side. And it looks like Zoe Montgomery has gone into the middle, in the midfield, to operate from there. More of a central midfield position that was similar to the position that we would have seen Adeline Thomas operate from. Here's Van, Brooklyn Van. She has Johnson on the right-hand side now. Here's Johnson. Correction, yeah, that is Johnson in towards the area and headed away by the defense. So Moreno still campaigning in the middle. Here's Daly trying to get something going for Jamaica, but gives it straight to Montgomery. Van. Forward by the number 41, Simmons. Adeline Thomas is the player who has been withdrawn, and she has been replaced. So a couple of changes for Indy Premier. As the ball played in, and that's straight at the goalkeeper. None of the Indy Premier players could get anywhere close to it, to get a vital touch on it. And you do feel that it is a bit of a danger to be 1-1 up. Most of the pundits may have expected Indy to be up a few more goals by now. But the fact that it's still only 1-0 is a massive psychological boost for the Jamaica team. But the fact is, Indy Premier supporters will point to is that they still have not conceded a goal in the entire tournament. Jamaica must stay in this game. The next goal has to be theirs. And they have to take a few more risks here in getting that goal. Front free for Jamaica. In the middle, Jones. On the left-hand side, Bailey. And Richards is up on the right. Very narrow front three at the moment here for Jamaica. Here's Bailey. And back to the Jamaica forward. Just Richards overlapping, gets it into the space for her. Richards doesn't get there first, and Van gets there in front. Brooklyn Van sends that down the road. Brooklyn Van is going to be heading to 16-year-old Michigan State University. That's a familiar territory for many of us here who follow track and field in Trinidad and Tobago. One's heading out of play back in the 1970s, the great Michigan State University Bob Parks would have coached a youngster from Trinidad and Tobago, and his coaching would have played its part in helping him to get to the Olympic final in 1976, 100 meters, and he won the gold medal running from lane 1. That youngster's name was Hasely Crawford, and his name is on the stadium. So just a mention of Brooklyn Van going to Michigan State would evoke some memories there for track and field fans. Johnson. Oh, no look pass there by Montgomery, and the keeper as well, coming in at the near post. Two strikers on the far post. No one was getting towards the near post. That's where you would expect at least one of them to go to get the early touch. Here's Van. Moreno. It's a difficult ball, but Jones does well. Montgomery looking for the shot. She will find Mueller here. Can Mueller get the shot in? At least the cross in. She gets past Daly right rather easily. Shot in on goal is straight at the goalkeeper. Well positioned. It's London Cathy, and she makes the stop. Basile, who's come on in the second half here, getting a run at the Jamaican defense, and a chance. Oh, she drives past the defender, chance to score. It hits the post and out. She had 4 goals in one game earlier this week against the SSFL Future Stars. She almost got her first in this one. She's had a great run of goal scoring in this competition, Ashley Basile. Ashlyn. Cleared into touch on the far side. That's the Indy Premier bench. And we can see Kenrick Ramirez and Russell G out there as the substitutes, waiting perhaps to be called on. Johnson, using the full width of the Hasely Crawford Stadium pitch. Mueller is robbed of it by Pendergrass. This has been a great battle between those two. Booted forward by Leckie. And Jones has struggled in this game. Hasn't found any kind of fluency in her game at all. Here's Daly. Forward to Bailey. Looking for the run of Jones, but Van is there to make the stop. And Johnson makes sure it doesn't come back to Bailey. Here's Montgomery. Treads it through here for Jones. Montgomery is heading into the top of the area. Basile is also there. Jones could try a shot at the left foot. She does. That's a tumbling stop by Cathy. And so far, just beaten by that chance from Mueller. She was on her near post, and then as she turned to run back to cover what would have been the near post on the far side, Mueller was already closing in and sent the shot past the Jamaica goalkeeper and into the net. Well-worked goal, a familiar pattern from the Indy Premier team. Richards. Here's Williams. And Bailey wins the throw-in off the shins of Johnson. Johnson is only 13 years old. She's tall and she's strong, but only 13 years old, one of the youngest players in the competition. Jones with the cross. And Basile with the shot. It's charged down. And she goes to ground. Free kick for Indy Premier on the far side of the field. Ten minutes gone in the second half. No goals yet in the second. And Mueller's goal still stands as the one that puts Indy Premier with a chance of winning the trophy here today. Swept in towards the near post and flashes across the face of goal. Several players were there, including Moreno at the near post. But it came off the head of a Jamaica player. And another corner here for the Indy Premier team. It will be Johnson to take this one again. Nolani Johnson. In towards the top of the 6-yard box, headed away by Jones. Bailey tries to run it away from danger, but Brooklyn Van picks it up. Here's Montgomery. And she drives at goal, finds Jones. And there's Daly to smartly thwart danger here for the pose by the Indy Premier team. That's good by Mueller to prevent that ball from getting past her. Well, it might be a little bit frustrating for the Indy Premier team, as I saw a little bit of display of frustration from Mueller. They controlled possession in the first half, but really struggled to break down the Jamaica low block after the goal. Want to try a couple from distance or try to force some passes into that box. The key really to breaking that low block is to get as many players into the box as possible. Of course, the danger is that you leave yourself a little light at the back. Daly will take the free kick. Hits it against the wind into the box, and that is well taken by Gwyneth Provost. And Provost, that's about the only thing she's really had to do for the game so far. She's been a spectator largely in this match. Here's Lackey. Pass is a weak one and is picked off easily here by the Indy Premier defense. Nice turn from Jones, who finds some space here. Just overcommits, pushing that one too far in front of herself. And Daly was there to stop the danger. Still, Basile is there on the far side. She's scored in every game so far. Moreno. Here's Montgomery. She can hit it left-footed. She does. Almost gets away from the goalkeeper. Jones was there for the rebound. Well, the keeper did well to make the stop. That was a good young find for the Jamaica under-17 team, London Cathy. Yes, to come, their number one goalkeeper, Schneider, will have some competition if she already doesn't have. Jamaica, the pride of Caribbean football, going to 2 consecutive World Cups and in contention for a 3rd. Montgomery turning away from the attention of one player. And that's a good ball to Basile, but her first touch was very disappointing. She was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Lania Winchester is listed to be on this side. I think they have made a switch. Lania Winchester looks like she's gone across. She has taken the second assistant referee position. This should be Kian Roach on this side. Here's Mueller getting past one defender and sliding past the second. Could there be a chance on the edge of the area? Straight at the goalkeeper. Moreno was closing in, and she's always at the top of the box there waiting for opportunities like that. But hasn't found the right sort of shot to beat the goalkeeper just yet. More frustration here for the Indy Premier team. Jamaica hasn't threatened the Indy goal much, but players like Raquana Richards and Jamara Jones just need that half a yard of space. Jamaica might look to bypass the midfield in the second half with a couple of long balls over the top for their speedy forwards. But Indy Premier have not played a very high back line. They're very respectful of the speed that this Jamaica team has. All the way back to Kathy. She gets it clear, but only as far as Moreno heads it forward to Basile. Jones was in an offside position, has come back on and scores! 2-0. And Jones has fired it home in the 16th minute of the second half. And could that be the goal that confirms Indy Premier as a champions? Jamaica will battle back, but it's a really tall order for them now. So 61st minute, and Jones again with another goal, a vital one here for Indy Premier. Well, is there any way back for Jamaica? Indy Premier will make another change. Skylar Mueller is going to come off, and they have brought on Corey Brown, youngster Corey Brown. Let's see how they will realign here. Now, Montgomery has gone back across to the left-hand side. Jones will play through the middle, and Corey Brown will play down the right. That's the front three for the Indy Premier team. Actually, Basile has gone across to the right, and Brown is on the right side of midfield. Basile may not get to this. Yeah, that's too far ahead of her. Brilliant sunshine now. It's not very hot, but sunshine straight in the eyes of the Indy Premier players. A couple of them holding their hands up to their faces. Don't think they'll get sunshine like this in Indianapolis now. They'll be back home in a couple of days. In fact, they are departing tomorrow, the Indy Premier team, and they'll be back in Indianapolis tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to be like this there, I can guarantee that. So enjoy it while it lasts. Here come Indy Premier again. Third goal you think would really kill off this game. Jones at the top of the box. Shot is hit, but just wide of the mark. That was Corey Brown, the substitute. Let me give you an idea what the weather is like in Indianapolis right now. It is 3 degrees Celsius in Indianapolis, 31 in Trinidad. So there's a 28-degree difference that these young ladies will face when they get back home tomorrow. And in fact, 8 p.m. tomorrow, when they do get back home, it's going to be -1 degrees Celsius. So even bigger than I thought. Montgomery gives it up on the right-hand side, and here is Leckie to get it forward. Looking for the run here of Madison Bailey. Bailey has played a lot of minutes in this tournament, and he's looking a little leggy right now. Here's Jones. She will get in on the end of this one. She's onside, and will allow that to run out. No, it's just hooked by the defender out for a throw-in rather than a corner, as Jones was hoping for. Ball boys out today, and They're having their time in the sun, literally. Here's Johnson. Well, headed on there by Moreno, and the defender gets it clear. Jones for Jamaica. Here's Bailey for Jamaica. And Johnson for Indy Premier gets it clear. Forward by Simmons. Picked up here by Montgomery, who tries to turn with it. But that is good work by Felicia Brown on the far side to stay with it, and wins the ball back after getting the foul. So the goals so far, Miller in the 16th and Jones in the 61st. In the Premier lead, 2-0. Real battle here for Jamaica to stay in contention. They say that 2-0 is the most misleading score in football, and 1 goal can really make a huge difference. That was out of play before Johnson got to it. You're watching action in the Jewels of the Caribbean under-17 final here on Sportstream TT. This broadcast brought to you by Blue Waters. Don't forget, you can check out our channel, live, share, and subscribe. Some people actually watching it while they're watching the game here at the stadium. Turning away from trouble is McDowell, and finds Johnson. Back to McDowell. Looking for some width, McDowell, and she finds it in Johnson. And Daly is there. Well, Bailey has gone down here for Jamaica, and that will bring Kyan Perth back on the physio. And Marlon Hilton is considering all his options now. How is he going to get these 2 goals back here for Jamaica? Shoshana Campbell also with him. Someone once said that football is the most important of the unimportant things in life. And I tell Marlon Hilton might agree. He survived Hurricane Melissa 2 months ago. He was actually in the middle of the hurricane. It passed straight through his area and hunkered down at a friend's home and survived the hurricane along with many. Some were not so fortunate, but it was an experience he and everybody in Jamaica who would have seen the wrath of Hurricane Melissa, they would have known what a terrible, terrible experience it was. Great to see the support that has come from all around the world for Jamaica. Jamaica genuinely one of the great superstars of sport. They really do punch above their weight in terms of sport, in track and field, of course, as we know, football also, and so many other sports. And that sporting prowess has brought them a lot of goodwill around the world. Great to see the support that has come out for them. Here's Van for Indy Premier. Finds Moreno. They try to make their way down the left-hand side through Montgomery. Just got a clip there as she tried to get past the defender. And you can hear Marlon Hilton from across here telling Lecky to organize that defense. Yeah, she's the one that's shouting out the instructions, carrying out the tactics as put out to the coach. You really do need the captain to be doing that. Captain of the Jamaica team is London Cathy, but she's 20 meters behind, and it's fallen to the central defender to do the organization of teammates around her. Montgomery is going to take the free kick. Floated in towards the penalty spot and cleared by Jamaica. What can they do from so deep inside? They had every player behind the ball at that point. Nice turn. Comes to nothing as the team in blue take over. Moreno. She was looking for the run of Basile there, but Basile was well marked off by Daly. Well, she's going to find it a little bit difficult to get too many balls from Bailey. Well, two Jamaica players going at it here. Williams was having some harsh words with Jones, who now receives the ball. At least was homing in on the end of it. Don't think they were seeing eye to eye with some of the tactics. Daly with the throw-in. Here's Leckie. And back to Leckie. Could drive towards goal here. Well, she tries the shot. May have been better advised to cross. She had four teammates on the lining up just on top of the box there. So with more experience, you know that you're very unlikely to score from a situation like that. Skylar Mueller has been withdrawn. The battle with her on the right-hand side for Indy Premier was an interesting one. Now Basile is here. And the Indy Premier goalkeeper, as I mentioned, she has not seen much of the ball. And concentration is certainly going to be the hardest skill for a goalkeeper who hasn't touched the ball in 40 minutes. If Jamaica does get a shot on goal, she has to be ready instantaneously. Basile. Moreno tried to tread it through there for Jones. Back with Johnson. And that's easy for the goalkeeper. Just got a note here from the TTFA that the overseas recruitment drive has shifted into high gear. The arrival of several UK-based players for the youth residential camp. I told you about that in some of the previous games. TNT under 17 boys team is having a camp down at the Attobolden Stadium. They were there to support the Trinidad and Tobago teams for every game at Attobolden. And a couple of UK-born and UK-based footballers have accepted the invitation to travel to Trinidad to join the under 17 and under 20 men's national team residential training camps. The players who are currently attached to professional and semi-professional clubs in England will arrive in Trinidad on Friday to train, live and integrate with the local players and, of course, the local environment as part of the ongoing assessment process. So that should certainly boost the TNT under 20 and TNT under 17 boys teams. TNT under 17 girls team will also be in action early in the year in CONCACAF competitions. That's one of the reasons why this tournament was formed by the TTFA in 2023, to give the girls under 17 and under 20 players valuable match practice and against solid opposition. Leckie. And she finds Williams. Can Jamaica get something together late here? 28 minutes gone in the first half. Daly, you feel, will have to be part of that. She gets the cross in. Headed away by the defender. The keeper perhaps may have called her for that. And that will be a corner for Jamaica. Can they strike from a dead ball situation, Jamaica? Daly is going to take this one. Some of the taller players. Leckie is going to go in there for the corner. Jones is also running in. Jones was getting some attention on the bench. She is now into the area on the far side. Also heading towards the area is Rakayla Stewart. Here's the cross towards the top of the box. And the shot is straight at the goalkeeper. Well, it was hit with not enough conviction there by Raquana Richards, hitting that with the outside of the foot. And oh, there is the Jamaica keeper down. London Cathy was sitting on the turf there. Yeah, she has picked up, I think it's, is it an ankle injury, it looks like. In the meantime, Jamaica have 15 minutes to rescue themselves and prevent this Indy Premier team from winning the trophy. Now, if the game does end up in a tie, we'll go straight to penalties. That's the rules of the competition. There will be no extra time. So straight to penalties we go. But it's a real tough task here for Jamaica to get there. Just to remind you, Jewels of the Caribbean action, under-17 final here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium. 2-0 to the team from Indianapolis. The Hoosiers are ahead 2-0. '25 Jewels of the Caribbean under-17 final. Right now, it appears that the trophy will be heading back to Indianapolis, an Indy Premier under-17 team, as Jamaica try to reorganize themselves for a final thrust here. If they can get one goal back, it'll be a very, very interesting last 10 or 15 minutes. Mentioned the news from the TTFA short while ago. Some more news was yesterday. The TTFA, that's the Football Association in Trinidad and Tobago, appointed a new acting technical director. Devin Elcock was appointed on 12th of December. His role as a technical director, technical oversight, coordination and strategic alignment of TTFA's football development programs. So congratulations to Devin Elcock. And his work will take him to work closely with coaches, technical staff, and key stakeholders across all levels of the game. That second goal certainly has given Indy Premier some breathing room. But Jamaica are yet to shatter this Indy Premier perfect record here in the competition. Still, they have not conceded a goal, and they have scored 19 goals with none against them. That is a brilliant record. Johnson. And Johnson was all over the Jamaica player like a cheap shirt there. And eventually, free kick went against her, but she is quite a good player, this young Johnson, only 13 years of age, and has all the tools already. It's just about getting that experience playing in competitions like these. It's always difficult for these young players to make it into a U.S. national team. You have to be really good, given the size of the talent pool available to the USA. Knocked over. Jones is trying to home in on this one. Not a bad effort there, cross-field ball, but always easier to read for the goalkeeper and the defenders. And once you're playing it from this side, it's also into the wind. So it's going to slow down the progress of the ball and flatten out that trajectory. That's true for Jones here, who might have a bit of space down the left-hand side. Pendergast goes with her. Jones gets past her. Can she get the cross in? Jones, there are two in the area for Indy Premier. Jones finally gets the cross in at the near post and straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. And Kathy has recovered from that knock she got. And Jones attempts to get a second goal in the competition, at least in this game, comes to nothing. Montgomery does well to stretch and get that one away from the Jamaica player. Good interception by Stewart. Forward for Williams. And here is Stewart again. Very few options for Jamaica. No one was closing in on the left to give Stewart that option to pass. So the organization has not been as as astute as it been in some of the previous games. Jones now trying to go outside of Leckie. Gets past Leckie. 2 more defenders to go. She gets the shot off, but it's too close to Kathy, who makes the stop. Another substitution being lined up here for the Indiana team. And Indiana will bring off number 9. That's Olivia Jones. That shot was her last of the match and of the tournament. They will bring on their number 14.
Leaving the field of play is number 9, Olivia Jones, and entering the field of play is number 14, Lillian Nisa.
Lillian Nisa is going to come on here. Nisa is actually the substitute goalkeeper, so she's going to come on and play. She plays as an outfielder, usually plays on the wing. That's where most likely she will go. She can play through the middle. She's very versatile in her play, Nisa. So she's going to come on. She has come on for the Indy Premier team, and she replaces Jones. So are they going to put her through the middle? Yes, she is going to play through the middle. Lillian Nisa. Here's Montgomery. Looking for Nisa. That's too far ahead of her. And an easy take for Kathy in goal. Well, you're hoping as a Caribbean football fan that Jamaica can produce something, a moment of magic here and get the goal back. But it's very difficult to see where that goal is going to come from. They've had precious little in terms of being an attacking force in this game. It's almost as though Indy Premier are playing with 13 players. Every time Jamaica get the ball, they're surrounded by blue shirts. Brooklyn Van. That's where the superior organization has helped them. They always seem to have players available for passing options. I'm sure that Marlon Hilton and his team will look back at this tournament and look at the reasons why. And certainly they will work on that as Jamaica look ahead to CONCACAF qualifiers. Played over for Nisa. Goalkeeper on goalkeeper there for a moment. And it's the one with the gloves on that gets there first. Threaded through here. This could be trouble for Jamaica, and Daly is there to make the stop. Oh, and that one is just past. The shot by Montgomery is touched away for a corner. So close to being 3-0. That would have certainly been curtains for Jamaica. So just to remind you, Muller in the 16th minute, and the 61st minute, Jones, who has now departed, she got the other goal in the 61st. 19 goals, none conceded by this Indy Premier team. What a stat that is. Johnson with the corner, headed towards the far post. There are 2 people there, and Montgomery was there, but Kathy with a brave save. That was brilliant goalkeeping by the young Jamaican keeper, and she dived bravely at the feet of Montgomery and made the save. Great stuff. Not much she could have done about either goal. They were well-placed shots away from her. But certainly keeping her team in it with that great save. Montgomery will take the corner. It flicked on at the near post. And that's in at the near post. It's off the head of the number 5, Brown. And that is the 3rd goal. And that could very well be the trophy going back to Indianapolis.
Goal scored for the Indy Premier SC on the 17th. Goal scored by number 5, Corey Brown.
So Brown makes it 3-0, and that is the 20th goal of the competition for the Indy Premier team. No one picked her up, and it was a well-worked move. Nice ball in by Montgomery to that near post, and Brown applied the finish. Nice flick header that entered at the near post. So a tactic that we don't see a huge amount these days, but it does work. Old and Goldie. Basile driving at the Jamaica defense here. And here's Montgomery, could get the shot off onto a right foot. Moreno. Once again, here's Brown. Miscontrolled, but has to seek the help of Johnson. Johnson goes to ground, gets back up with the ball. And finally, Daly gets it away here. Munson has come on also. There's Munson with a cross. Munson actually played her first game only yesterday for the under-20s. She's been injured, as you might see. She's carrying an injury to that left thigh, very heavily strapped. Looking for another one is Brown, and that's over bar. Brown's parents are here. And also quite a few of the parents of these Indy Premier team, they're here to support their girls. They have been very happy. They've been enjoying themselves in Trinidad and Tobago. They've been at every stadium. They come up in their buses and always in great spirits. Seems that they're enjoying their time in TNT, and it's great to have them here. Several of the Jamaica parents are also here with their teams, and they have enjoyed their time in Trinidad and Tobago. For many of them, it's their first time in the Caribbean. And we do hope they get a chance to go to Maracas Bay at least once during their time. Munson. What's the approach going to be here for Indy Premier in the late stages? McDowell looking like she's gone back to a defensive position along with Munson. Montgomery set up that third goal, trying to set up a fourth here. Nisa was the one who was on the receiving end of the challenge. And the free kick has gone for the Jamaica team. There's a player down here, clutching her head. And the referee has gone across to just inquire. Might be more Effie Williams. Might be more disappointment more than anything for the young Jamaican player. That's Richards. One or two of the Jamaica players burst into tears after, in fact, one burst into tears after coming off at the end of the game when huge disappointment with the score already 5-0. Certainly they've shown more resistance in this game, but it has been no less effective by the Indy Premier team. Well, a couple of injuries. It's been a long tournament, and it's been a tight schedule. There will be a lot of injuries out there. Kyra Bragranta, the latest one to go down. Free kick for Indy Premier. Just 2 minutes to go in normal time. There was no time added on for stoppages in the first half. Jamaica are pondering a couple substitutions here. McLean looks like she's going to come on for Jamaica. That's Makeda McLean. As soon as the goal goes out of play, I think they're going to come on. But they're not going to have too much of time to really do anything, with just a minute remaining in normal time. kick. Will go the way of Indy Premier, and, well, 3 minutes of time added on for stoppages. So the two players coming on for Jamaica, McLean and Salmon. Carissa Salmon and Michaela McLean. Salmon is coming on for Jamara Jones. And also coming off with McLean will be replacing Raquana Richards.
Substitution for the Jamaican number 17, leaving the field of play is Jamara Jones, and entering the field of play is number 17, Carissa Salmon. Also leaving the field of play is number 7, Raquana Richard, and entering the field of play is number 14.
Here's the free kick. Catherine Simmons with the free kick, cleared away at the first opportunity for Jamaica. Munson picks it up. Back here with Simmons. Gets the cross in left-footed. There are two players on the far side, but they're offside. It's not going to count anyway. And the whistle has sounded. So just almost up to the end of the first minute of time added on for stoppages. That Jamaica keeper clashing with one of the Indy Premier players. And there's a player down there calling for the physio. The physio was dealing with someone else at the moment. Now the Jamaica physio has been called on, and also the Indy Premier physio, who is paying attention to one of the under-20 players off the field at the northern side of the stand, now has to sprint a good 100 meters or so, maybe a bit more, to get to the other end. So both physios will deal with the Indy Premier player who's down. I have a feeling it's Montgomery. Well, it is Montgomery who's gone down, and she's lying flat on the turf. And both physios are administering something to the left knee, it looks like. She's going to be okay. Not sure if she may continue, but it's not going to matter at this point, because it feels that though as soon as this ball comes back into play, that's going to be it. I'm wondering how serious this is, because a couple of the Indy Premier players have their hands on their heads. One of them does in fact have their looking on and wondering what's happening here. Montgomery has the two physios. There's also another official from the Indy Premier team on. The referee is also there. Well, Montgomery is getting a bit of applause here because she's on her feet. Actually, it's not Montgomery, it's number 21. That is the Nolani Johnson, who had come up for the corner, playing right back for the Indy Premier team, and she's going to take a little walk around the field. It may not matter at all if they're playing at 10 players, because they are comfortably in front 3-0. Here's a free kick. Munson. McDowell. Well, the two substitutes combining there. And it was Stewart that got the ball forward. Sarah Needham, who's also come on, was battling for it there. How they'd love to get at least one goal back here. Offside against Nisa. Actually, it had run out of play. That's what the call was. It wasn't offside. Thought initially it was offside. Daly looking for Needham. Can't get past the tackle there of McDowell. Referee looks at her watch again. Talia Williams all up to her now. She might add on an extra minute here for some further stoppages to the injury for Johnson. And Indy Premier come driving forward. Moreno. Nisa is on her outside and waited a bit too long there. Got the defender's attention, but not the best of passes to Nisa. Forward by Brown. Looking for Montgomery, and there it is. That's the final whistle. Perfection has a name in Port of Spain, and it is Indy Premier. Final score at the Hasely Crawford Stadium. Indy Premier 3, Jamaica 0. It ends as a masterclass. They came to the Caribbean with a target on their backs, and they leave with the trophy in their hands. An incredible record that will stand the test of time. 20 goals scored, 0 goals conceded. Not a single ball has touched the back of their net in 4 matches. Jamaica fought bravely, keeping the game tight at 1-0 for over an hour, but the American machine was simply with too much gears for them. Skylar Mueller in the 16th minute. 61st minute, Jones getting the second goal, and in the 84th minute, Brown had the final goal. Jamaica have nothing to be ashamed of. They were the second best team here by a distance, but tonight the Jewels of the Caribbean belongs to the Indianapolis team. So that's how it ends, 3-0. Indy Premier beating Jamaica under 17, and they have won the title.
Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can customize a package for you.